All right, chat reconnected. Sorry about that. There's something about, and for all I know, Jason wrote his own web server. But there's something about the 1 Hour 1 Life site that seems especially likely to trip the. I've occasionally noticed when doing bandwidth tests that it will just kill my router. So there's something about the 1 hour site that seems especially likely to trigger that. So maybe he has like less restricted burst bandwidth than other services. I don't know. So I think this is the one we were trying to look at. So we would be looking for a Lily of an Anna of an Eve West, which I guess that's all I need to show. For comparison with the main site. Oh, and a less successful Eve Boots. Well, or an early child, I guess. I could also be looking at time-based filter. It'd have to be kind of fuzzy because this is only showing like 3 months ago, so you'd have to go like 3 months back and do like plus minus a month because of rounding. Or maybe you try and figure out, well, you never know what an algorithm is going to call 3 months ago. You know, how it rounded things. Lily. Lilith. Becky, Sakura, Joan. Lily. Lily. Well, all right, so this is maybe not a very efficient way to search. Maybe if you could put in, if there was some way to specify as much as you know and have it narrow it down. So we could probably, oh, here we go. Oh, no, that's Lily Anna Eve Shin. No, that's a, oh, another Lily Anna from Eve Shin, wow. Maybe she was naming, maybe Anna was naming all her kids Lily. Yes, this is still a lot of people. All right, so I guess we're going to need, to get all our initial candidates, then look at as much as we know, essentially. Well, there's time window, which should actually cut it down a lot. So if we say, I mean, what does 3 months ago mean? It could be plus minus 3 months ago, depending on how you round it. We could go 3 months ago. So if you had two timestamps, how would you most likely write that? Would that be 3 to 4 months ago? Maybe? I guess the safest thing would be to go back that amount of time and then do plus minus the unit of scale. Which means we're going to have to get into some nasty date stuff. So right, we've got age, and I think both the birth and the death, well, all life logs rather, have a time. Birth, death, name. Name is more of a primary attribute. Def time is birth and birth dot time, or death and death dot time. Right, which I guess if we only had a name, you wouldn't have a time. So for now, just hard coding it. We were looking for if life.time. Oh, but this means we have to get into, oh, that's a timestamp. Date, I guess. So how would we, I know that there is n months before self. Works for this, not in general. Today equals, is it just date.new, I presume? And then, well, we actually want to do some modification. Date.new 3 months ago, but we have to go if life.o. And how do you get the Unix time out of a date instance? No, 2 time. Well, maybe a time. Maybe it's time instead of a date to get to that level of precision. Okay, we could format it. Not super satisfying. How about epoch? No. All right. So how about time? No. How about date time? Formatting again. No. Okay, so it looks like is it really Sturf time? Ruby date Unix time. And formatted date to timestamp. Okay, time and then to a Unix timestamp. 2time.2i. Okay. But well, you're trying to parse a date, which probably means you could do time.new, right? But oh, time.new is going to have the 3 months ago. Oh, but I actually need to do, you know what? Start, we're going to go back 4 months and go back 2 months. If life.time is greater than start and life.time is less than end and oh, end is a keyword. So arguably, I only need to parse certain logs here. So I guess if you had a timestamp, you could try and convert it to this format, only load these certain logs. Optimization. Oh. Oh. Data to stand lib, not core. Of course, you could probably figure out what the time range in the longest family was and use that as a fudge for how much you might have to backload. All right, so clearly, even though we're not going to get any hits here, we need to do this so we can get faster error responses. So one of these lives came from a time only, from a name only. So we're just going to have to fudge something in there. All right. That does not crash, although that was a particular instance which may not exist in the isolated data set. Okay, we might have a difference of units here. Be from to, and that's never going to happen. Let's go back to this. And we'll just pick out these and say, what do timestamps look like? Because this might be like milliseconds versus seconds or something like that. Okay, so these are all like 15s. I guess I should have printed my other ones at the end, huh? Okay, so this is, oh, you know what? Maybe it's not date.new. Is there like date.now? Finding a given calendar date. Yeah, so how do you get today's date? Today, I guess. And maybe it's time dot now, but then you have to go like time dot now, to date, back 3 months. I guess I could fudge months for this purpose. All right, so I think we're now in the same units. So if we do this, we might narrow it down a little bit. All right, so I think that was fewer. There's still a lot of lilies, though. So to make this a more reliable search, we'd actually have to get into like mother and ancestor names or progenitors. We have to do the ancestors. So if lineage sub1 dot name, well, if there was a parent, and lineage sub1 name equals Anna, and lineage, there has to be a last element, because you're going to put at least the character in there, or the current life. Oh, this might have been a different server. Yep. Find method name for I as string. What? It's the end element, right? Well, that's a typo. R? What? I appear to have forgotten what range operators did here. Oh, because I was setting this up to print. So we need lineage. And then we need to print lineage. All right, we found exactly one. Player. Is player even a thing? I mean, that might be a misnomer. I don't know if I got that from his docs or not. But anyway, we've got an ID now. So this would be... Now we would... add that to the family. Which will involve retracing the lineage, but eh. And then we'll get a focus length, and we will output that, and we will have found this family. By a very brute force method, but... So we have an idea that we might be able to make a program that's like character name, mother name. You'd have to look up progenitor here. One hour. Ooh, this is still a big one. Oh, or did I break something? No, because the other one was before we did the most recent changes. Oh, no, I started putting it out as test. Because we had the big long process running, we wanted to do other stuff. I should have left this open. And I actually need to put this in more of a proper program place. Oh, I didn't actually run the program to write out the new file. That might have helped. That's more like it. Oh my. Oh, it had to do some very creative routing of, Oh, there were some out-of-family murders. And those got placed up here. Ooh. Yeah, this looks like a griefer. Somebody killed you. You killed a bunch of people. Anonymous. Well, it's not necessarily anonymous. I guess looking up actual names here would be more useful. Oh, and it did kind of come down to one branch of the tree here, didn't it? Another lily. It was quite the family name there. Now, I guess at some point I might want to see about like highlighting my character in this. I might need to see if there's a way to mark kill arrows as not needing to route. Because, I mean, while it could be somewhat disruptive, the circuitous routes are also a little bit disruptive. I'm not sure if there's a good way to make these appear... Well, I said they were non-constraining. And you wouldn't want necessarily putting like this down somewhere else. They may very well often be back references. Also, this makes it pretty easy to see how quickly you lose the family name. In fact, the entire... Wait, why don't we have a name for Eve West? I mean, I found you in the tree. You were in the lineage. I'm going to have to review how some of this code works, because I've been seeing this show up a fair bit here. And we've definitely had some Wests here. And then this poor person is like progenitor of the entire line. All right, so Graphviz. Not the dot language. You need the edge attributes. Constraint. There's no default, or like there's no related references. It would have to be edge, I think. Oh, a whole bunch of label stuff. So I guess I could actually use that to label killer. Tooltip. LP. Label position. No justify? Yeah, it seems to be all label stuff. Pen width. I don't think pause. I don't think style. Huh. Graphviz, edge collision. Avoid edge intersection. Now these happily cross. Well, okay, these cross. They just take really circuitous routes. Okay, we've got constraint false. To overlap each other. Oh, was edge routing a newer feature? Edges are partially diagonally routed through them. Okay, yeah, these. Splines equals polyline. Nice to have both normal splines and non-crossing edges. Triangle smoothing. Yeah, so we have one possible attribute here. Which is a graph attribute. Controls how edges are represented. As splines routed around nodes. If false, edges are drawn as line segments. So... Oh, polyline. Oh no, so these are all labeled below. So none, line. I don't see the difference with polyline. Well, there's a little difference in this one here. Curved, ortho. No indication how that affects routing around. Splines. Draw edges as line segments. Overlap? Node overlap should be removed. I don't think node overlap is the issue. Splines equals polyline. Splines equals true. Splines equals curved. So splines equal curved appears to allow some node overlap if it's a real issue. So how do we do this through Ruby? So this would be a graph attribute. Documentation? This had a sidebar, right? Yep. Okay, so we can say graph, which I'm assuming... and then it was... splines curved. Nope, that didn't make any difference. At all. Did that even show up where I wanted it to? Curvade. Also made no difference. Is that how you do this? Do we have examples? Graph splines equals I presume that the quotes are optional. Okay, makes no difference. That does appear to be how it's done. Well, let's try a different form and see if it actually gives a darn. Nope. That is completely, totally... Wait. Wait, why are you read-only? What? Okay, we'll go back to here. I'm still not sure how that happens. Oh, maybe this thing, because it's open, it's like, oh, you're opening another program. We can't have that. Is this one of the ones where we can force write? Yes, we can. Aha! Well... it seems that we're generating each line multiple times. The fact that it's exactly twice is disturbing. For every single one. which suggests... Oh, that's right, we didn't have the late 26 hunger, late 26 hunger. Why are we putting this in here twice? So now what I need is a small family. So let's go back to... Oh, and I need to fix... this, because this is apparently showing up the multi arrow issue, and they're just getting, I guess they're just getting routed the same way with the other version. So we want to go back to a single day where we do everything. Oh, I'm going to need to print... well, at the moment we still have a bug with our top of line, unless it's only in the tree tracing. What? This used to work. Although that was before I started doing fancy labels. All right, so... we have to run it again. An error occurred. What else have we changed? We added killers. We may have added shapes. I don't remember this taking so long to render last time. Okay, well, maybe it was too big for killers here. So yes, we got double lines everywhere. All right. One 1109187. This one works as no, it's actually part of a larger family. Nice small family. We can iterate quickly. And then we'll have to come back and figure out why that stuff's breaking later. No, we want this family tree. Yes. 1109187. That's our focus. All right, now we have a small enough case to, we're not going to spam ourselves. So focus dot length is 3. So we're not adding the nodes themselves twice. So it has to be something in here. Well, what if it was applying shapes to things and like referencing nodes multiple times? Nope, that's not it. That's only 2 edges that we generated. How about the output file? So I guess this is a bug in Graphviz? At least for splines curved. All right, well, let's overwrite this here. Let's bang you to get rid of the attributes so you don't bother me. Make sure this is working. Failed to build logical structure. I'm surprised that splines even affect that. Where's the reference? So we have line. Really? Oh, no, wrong page. You know what? I wonder if this is a quote thing. No, it's just as unhappy with that. Wait, is this actually... What? Oh. It removed the flag from here, but it didn't actually write it out. Okay, that did something, and it's fine with the quotes. So we have a line. So it was curved, not curved. That, yeah, there's a bug in curved. All right, so we need to go back. We need to be able to run this again. How did... Maybe it was just... The file size was too big for the whole thing? I don't know. our other focus target here? Oh, I was printing something somewhere. This is what we were doing for graph. Well, there's still some occasional curving here. Oh, I didn't actually fix the Ruby code. It's still doing curvated. No, it's going curved. Was that line? Well, this is already kind of not good. All right, so got rid of the doubling. Yeah, okay. I guess the killer lines are kind of terrible. Yeah, I wish I could use the routed lines for regular lineage. But this is a graph-only attribute, so you can't apply it on an edge-by-edge basis. So I guess you have to put up with bad routing. I think it's actually somewhat tame in this particular graph. Wait, yeah, you got things like this. Can we search for, like, Graphviz, what would you call it, like, detour? Layout of graph items. I think I kind of know what that is. No, that's... Yeah, so you can manually created graphs can influence layout. I don't think you can do much with automatic ones. Well, I guess I could have looked at that. To see if there were any particular attributes he was using. Label, label, label. Edge, weight. Rank same. These are all node stuff. Let's concentrate. Edge concentrators. Merges multiple edges. That might be useful for a few things like this. Maybe for a few of the killer lines? Where was that a graph attribute? I presume that these are effectively graph attributes. Which would be just graph. Error? Oh. It's a hash. See what that looks like. Seems to have made no difference whatsoever. Maybe I misspelled something. Or maybe it's not actually a graph attribute? I don't know. Do we have any evidence that did anything? I would kind of say no. All right, so we've had no success in fixing the weird killer routings. This is a big old family. All right, so these people had a name. How is it that we always do not have a name for our parent? I should probably, I'm doing a lot of, bouncing around to a lot of stuff. So we got ancestors, we've got some test code. Switched our output back. We got time. Experimenting with date filters. So why is our Eve not getting a name? We would need, and apparently, okay, so all right, family tree. I want to see if we can do anything about target focus. I guess what we do here is we just go down here and we say focus equals lives. So it's going to be very mad about that. So last time we started taking out features, and I think it was, we had to take this out before it actually worked. I'm just wondering if like the file is too big or something. Oh, it worked a lot longer than the other day. So it seems to be thinking longer. All right, well, I guess it's just total data. All right, so we want a smallish line. Wait. These eaves have names. Oh, I wonder if... Oh, that was probably that line with... Oh, wait. I'm only doing a single day. So if we focus on this family and load all of history... Nope, our progenitor still has no name. So this must be a problem with focusing. Because our eaves had names when we did everything on that day. I mean, it could be a weird thing in this family, but clearly the eve had a name here. One 10120. Actually, we probably even had that in here. Oh, this was the character. Yeah, add the family of that character. Okay, yeah. So maybe add family is not getting... Oh, this is why I wanted the entire history of a server to find a small family line we could examine. Hopefully one that's actually showing an Eve name on the big view. And we can try to figure out why it's not doing that when we focus. All right, so we definitely have Eve names here in some cases. That doesn't, I mean, even 2 would be enough. Looking for, yeah, just a couple of people. Well, these don't have names. Looks like we're going to need at least a small family here. All right. Oh, but what I need... Well, no, I'm doing family of. So we could take... like this player. Oops. Yeah. 1110334. And the double lines again. So yes, we are not properly adding this to the family. Is it supposed to be cursor? Because we'll eventually get back down, or we'll eventually find our target. There we go. And that was one of the double lines, because we put it in there twice. All right, so we had, you are a small family, small named family, larger family. So we're kind of doing this as our test case. We don't need the big graph right now. And I'm going to have to figure out, it's like, is there a certain condition where I can say I have to cut some features out to make it work? Or just some weird data that's in that particular data set. All right, so we have our Eve now. We need search methods. We want to be able to specify... I don't suppose there's any more. I mean, this is already the focus page for this character. So we don't get any better information about the when. So if we have 3 months ago, well, I can do the search and look at where this character appears in time and maybe get a better idea of how he's calculating it. So what we have done properly include progenitor in family. So we were doing this search in a date range. So p life dot time Maybe not the whole thing. Oh, so I was specifically looking for what times got selected. And then actually we can do this because that will tell us which one was it. Oh, and what do we got up here? Okay, we're not doing this. And we need all of the data here. I want you to convert that timestamp back into a date. The timestamp's going to be a little bit hard to work with. So, yeah, that's the timestamp when that character was. But, you know, what does that mean? So how is Ruby going to let us construct a date? This might be a time, since you do time.2i. Ooh. Is this a second count? And does date time have the same thing? I don't see an at. I love how the time is not... Oh, time might be core. Aha! So all that's undocumented if you're looking at the library documentation. New, yeah, okay. Time, seconds with frac. I'm not sure if this is like seconds or milliseconds. But we want PE time dot at. See if that makes any sense. Uh, 2018, yeah, that makes sense. So 3 months ago, in this case, actually is really close to 3 months ago. Which unfortunately doesn't tell us anything about where the boundaries are. That page still shows the filter field. 7 days ago, 14 days ago, 21 days ago. Looks like days ago. Oh, 56? 50 days ago goes up to 56. Otherwise, you don't get very far back with this view. I am looking at 1 hour, 1 life, and I guess the email field isn't up right now. I'm kind of trying to figure out so I can like find characters because you can look at these, but these IDs have nothing to do with the IDs in the data dumps. So I'm trying to make these family trees out of this. So, like his view will show you like yourself, your mother, your kids, and maybe if you got significantly farther, how far the line got. No, actually, it's only on the eve. It shows you the farthest generation. But you really don't, like if you're an Eve, this is what you get. Generation 2 and the farthest you've got, which is something. But it doesn't really, tell you, whether multiple different lines that got to that generation. Generally how prolific were things. How did all of your kids, your immediate kids, do? So I'm trying to take the data dumps, which are just birth and death records, and try to reconstruct the full family trees here. So you got to wait a day for the data to get published, but you could come back and actually kind of get a better sense of how things went downstream or upstream, I guess. If you wanted to know where your line came from. So what I'm trying to do is figure out how he is doing the, 3 months ago. Okay, what does that mean? For one case, we've determined that, yes, it is in fact about 3 months ago. But does that mean 3 to 4 months ago? Does that mean 3 months plus or minus 15 days? And the data I can easily get on my own characters doesn't really give me a lot of test cases for that. I mean, I did have, I'm going to go back through the form here. Oh, no, okay, well, that was that one generation. So filter. So down here, we got a couple 3 months. These might all be part of the same family. And one Jellybean, thank you for the host. So I could try to look up these people. Although nameless is not going to be an easy one. See if these are different families. And maybe that'll tell us something a little bit more about what 3 months ago means. So this, nameless. So if we look at Star, who had a name. So if we look for Star, Sally, Eve, Chypris. I need the code. So these are all 3 months ago. So right now we're just doing 2 to 4 because we don't know what that means. And 56 would be the fullness of 2. So yeah, 2 months would still make sense. So still 3 months ago, since we didn't have a name, that would show up as our player number, which we don't have here. Which I guess I'd need to have some way to test for nameless. But we can look at our mother, who was Star, and our grandmother, who was Sally, and our Eve, or our progenitor, which was Eve Chypris. And, and the thing we actually want out of this is the, so we do not need, we do want the times. And I don't necessarily need the entire spread now, we just need this. And life dot, I think it's player was the ID. Which is life ID player. Not the greatest term. Aw. Yes, I did. Ah, all right. Oh, maybe I have that for birth and death. Oh, no, for life, it was just ID. Okay, found one. Oh, and the date, this is also almost exactly 3 months. So that wasn't helpful. So we are looking for Helen with a mother Evelyn of Eve Boots. Okay, so we have a range like 527 to 512. We are... It's not necessarily enough to tell us. It is the 25th, and it's the 12th. It's not even 15 days. Let's see. If we go back